Hey Justin, just looking at your animation. I just did a initial critique of the scene, and then we realized that your setup here, this animation's a pretty like standard two-handed IK setup we should be using, but we don't have that set up on this scene. This is, when I was looking at it, I was like, oh, these are not linked. So you actually did it the hard way. So, yeah, I wouldn't recommend trying to polish this scene up because it'd take forever. And it's just frustrating to work with, and no one wants to be frustrated. So, what else could we do? So we're gonna try and figure out how to get both of these hands to follow this weapon here. First thing I noticed also is the weapon's alignment is not quite right. Like it's not in the center of his hand. It's like on the tippy toes at the tips of his fingers or something. And you're constraining the object. So I think we could just move that in there and we should be fine. No, it's not saving its position change. The other thing you might have figured out is kind of a side effect of constraints. If you set a key, the constraint breaks. So I can no longer kind of follow this guy. I also noticed kind of a weirdness thing with this rig. When I move the FK forearm off axis, like the blade doesn't follow the hand. So through some experimenting, I figured out that I can break connection, so this is no longer connected. And then I'm going to constrain instead, I'm going to constrain it to this control. Because whatever this is doing, it looks like it's behaving, it's matching the actual mesh a lot better. So you select a parent, and then object to constrain, constrain parent. And then now I believe we're a lot better shape where the weapon's actually matching the mesh. But then the other problem is the key. If you set a key, you lose the constraint. So we'll undo that. So no more constraint on this thing. Come on, there it goes. I'm gonna control G this guy because it's for group. It's the same as going edit or create group, maybe. I don't even know where it is because okay, there it is, group. Control G does the same thing. So all it is just made another object above the actual mesh that we can do stuff with. So I'm going to select that object, select the group, constrain parent. Now I can move this. Now I can move the mesh around, and I can set keys, and things won't break. And move it kind of more in the palm of the weapon's hand, and then maybe match this. Move this guy out of the way. Bam. Let's try and get this position better. Curl the fingers. I've done this once before, if it looks like I've done this before. Because I failed on one of my attempts. It didn't quite work out. You know, do whatever you need to do to kind of get it to look like it's gripping. I don't know what the... yeah, that's probably one of the... I wish I could just grab that thing and move it. Oh, that's just rolling the one individually. Okay. What if we zeroed you out? Just moved you. That's an interesting axis. I don't know. I'd play around. If I was working on this, I'd play around with it for a little while until I got a nice looking grab on that weapon. It's important. Let's see if this stays. Okay, so now we got a constraint. It's matching the hand. I can't break it. Now we want the other hand to match that hand too. I think we have to do from experimenting earlier. It seemed like the best thing to do. Turn on IK first. IK, and then graph editor. Figured this out earlier because those things are keyed. So that way it stays in IK the whole time. Get this position wherever you like it. Make a fist, you know, make it grab the weapon, whatever. Keep it kind of rough for now. Set a key. Hit F on the outliner. I'm going to do Control G. It's the same deal. I'm making a group. Then I'm going to go and constrain that group to the weapon. So I'll grab the weapon, Control-click group, go constrain parent. Now I can go and move the weapon around, and it moves that other hand. And then this, when I move this around, it moves everything together. You might ask yourself, why are we parenting to the weapon and not the hand? So when you're fighting and stuff and swinging swords around, when you hit stuff, usually the weapon kind of does this weird, you know, bend thing. So you can see the pin is moving sort of in the hand independently of the hand. So I want to, in the case of two-handed weapon, excuse my lack of having a weapon, sometimes I want to like move the weapon around on one hand versus the other, and this gets me a lot of ability to kind of play around with how we're controlling weapons. It's a pretty standard setup you'll find in a lot of game rigs. So it's definitely worth playing around with and trying to figure out how to get it to work right. So yeah, I effectively killed any stuff you did on the hand already, but at least this way you can edit the animation and mess around with stuff and you'll be okay. Because the constraint's not on the actual IK control, which was this guy. Now we can animate it. So on this position, for example, when it's forward, just animate it kind of back into a good position. You know, tweak that all you want later. There we go. Yeah. So that'll let me like go in and now I can clean up this guy's animation where I don't have to worry so much about what's going on this arm. I can just get stuff feeling better by moving around just one side of your character. So yeah, play around with that. We probably want to do something similar on the other guy. The other guy's a little bit more complicated. I'll try a different video probably for that one, where it's two-handed and then the hand comes up all together. So we might want to just go with the same setup and then just animate it. I would try that. So you go, you'd end up IKing it, but then you just key the IK control to kind of have the hands come together at the end. So yeah, give that a try on both characters. So this would be the blue, in this case the blue on both guys would drive, so that's the left arm, would drive the animation entirely, mostly. Then you could, or the other thing you can do is you key FK and then you just key it onto IK. You know, you grab this control on the bottom and then turn IK on and try that out. So anyway, try this out. You'll probably, it's definitely an advanced kind of behavior, but it's pretty standard when you're working on anims. So give it a try. Let me know if you run into problems, or I can do a different kind of video for you. All right, see you, dude, later.